Welcome to my channel, shavers and shavettes. I hope you're all well. Little bit of an experimental type of video today. We'll get into the reason why that is as we go. But first, as always, the gear. For my brush, going to be using a Razor barrel, 24mm diameter. Very nice brush. I think this one's listed as silver tip. Very nice, very soft, holds all kinds of lather. And being from Razor makes it a very good value. Razor today, nothing too fancy, just the good old Micromatic. We've got the open combs, the brass version with no bumps if you follow that. And here's where the experiment is coming into play, or part of the experiment. Don't get too excited just yet, but I have a fresh, brand new, unopened Czech and Speake 88 shave soap I bought from Goose Shaving just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. But what we see on the back here is apparently not true. Made in Italy, not true. Ingredients list, not true. We'll get into that in just a moment. But to move things along, let's take a look at the soap first. We'll get it opened. Very nice packaging as usual. And the soap itself. Okay, this might get interesting. I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up. It looks like there's a wrapper on it. There is no wrapper. I've not done any testing on this theory, but from what I've noticed, very casually, the more a soap looks like plastic, the more it acts like plastic. And this is a very plastic looking soap right here. So let me get a rinse going. I'll start the use. We'll see how the soap performs. Okay, I did not grab a bowl of any sort today, so I'm just going to grab onto the puck. But I am bringing back a brand new and hopefully improved lather cam. So there we go. Got the brush in some water. As I start to load my brush, we'll tell you what's going on. So Czech and Speake, very popular, very high quality soap. And so far, it's not looking terrible. But they were made by a company, I think it was Velobra. Not sure if I'm saying that right, as you're used to by now. But they make, or made, extremely high quality soaps. They are no longer in business. So Czech and Speake went out and found another manufacturer. This manufacturer is now in England. And on Goose Shaving, about a month ago, got a notice saying, hey, I know I told you that we were all sold out at Czech and Speake, that they wouldn't have the good Italian stuff anymore, but the distributor says they found a big pile of it, and I was able to buy it, and now I'm going to sell it to you. So I bought a couple of pucks. A couple days ago, got an email from Goose again saying something happened. Started getting emails from people that have ordered the soap saying that it doesn't perform, saying that it's not the good stuff anymore. So Phil from Goose Shaving did a couple experiments and found out that, yep, that's no good, and started getting in touch with the distributors. As it turns out, they were mislabeled soaps, mislabeled ingredients, mislabeled country of origin. Now, as the story goes, it is not a good performing, not a good lathering soap. I might have low standards, I'm willing to admit that, but so far, this is acting great for me. So let me just set that to the side. Ooh, I might change my mind. I just heard it fizz out. Okay, well, we'll see. Let me get a little more water. If you're not familiar with that fizzing sound, that's a sound of a very bad soap, a sound of failure. Either the soap itself doesn't perform well, or you've just done a bad job mixing it. So it could be either at this point, since that was just the soap left over on my hands after loading the brush. So anyway, to finish up the story, Phil decided he was going to send out refunds to everybody, which is one of the reasons why I don't worry when I buy things from Goose Shaving. I know they have our back. Phil is a member of the community. He goes out of his way to make sure he's got the best customer service, and I think he succeeds at that. Let's get a little more water. I can see that it's disappearing already. So far, I wouldn't call this a terrible lather, but it's definitely not up to the same standards. Very airy, very foamy, which isn't the end of the world. Tastes like soap. That's why people usually don't have a conversation while lathering. Yeah, it's not the same standard, I can tell already. In fact, get some of that off. Woo. I'm going to grab that puck again. I don't feel like this soap is going to last 2 passes, so what I'm going to do is just add a little more soap to the mix. Give myself the best chance of having a great shave. And this isn't anything that I'd call a terrible soap just yet. Although, let me see if I can get that in the audio here. Let me set that down. I will be quiet and we'll see if we can hear the soap fizz out. That wasn't too bad. All right, well, let's see. Let's see how the shave goes. Yeah, I can see it's disappearing really quick. And again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. I've said it before in other videos, as long as there's adequate lubrication, the rest just looks nice. It looks pretty. Let's see how it goes. Not great, not terrible either. And this, I don't normally turn to the side when I shave, but I think it gives you a little bit of an idea of what angle I'm using the razors at, so that's what I do. Then open my jaw to get a nice flat surface to go down the jawline. Lather is staying somewhat stable after rinsing. Not a great amount of lubrication, but it's not terrible either. The scent is unmistakably 88. There's nothing wrong with the scent. Yeah, it's kind of fizzing away. All right, I'll call that the first pass. We'll take a look at the lather remaining on the brush. Definitely very foamy. Starting to thin out even with the additional loading that I did, just in case lather cam didn't work very well. Here's what I'm looking at. a little bit dry. Add a touch of water. I generally do not rinse between passes. I like to have a little more precise control over my water. If I need water, I'll just dip the tips into the sink. It's not the end of the world if you get too much water. You've got a whole bucket of soap remaining, or at least I do right now. If that's the last little tiny bit of soap that you have on hand, maybe you got problems if you had too much water. Yeah, pretty thin. Come on, get up. All right. Yeah, the rinsing off the lather, it's not too bad right now. The first time that I put my hand in the water to rinse off the foam, it definitely fizzed away in a hurry, and that's generally a sign that you're not going to be having a very good time. But not terrible. Yeah, lubrication isn't real bad. Get that jawline. It's definitely slippery on the razor. Going to rinse, I feel like I'm about to lose it at any moment. I'm not feeling that same level of slip on my face. Got a question on, I think it was the BBS review about getting under the nose if the cap was too tall. And I generally don't go down under the nose. I come up at an angle. See if I can let you see that. You've got this entire blade to work with. You can use just portions of the blade. Get up to the corner, half the blade, center of the blade. Don't be afraid to work the entire area. You don't have to have it all in contact all at once. Last pass. Yeah, a little dry and foamy again. That's all right. Try to get a little air in there, see if we can get some volume. Not really wanting to build up any volume with the lather. Alright, and we'll squeeze out the brush. Very slippery on the brush. That is really weird. It's acting strange to me. My brush, as you just saw, and the handle of the razor feel extremely slippery, but that is not transferring to my face. Alright. Whole bunch of leftovers. Generally what I do with the leftover is just mound it up on my hand, pop it back on the top of the brush. If I need to come in, touch up any areas, I've got lather ready to go for me. see if you could hear any of that fizzing as I was rinsing off my hands. And here we go for the last pass. I am still getting that great number 88 scent. The scent of the soap, at least. With the previous soaps that I bought, it is a little different than the cologne, which is a little different than the aftershave. But I think they complement each other very nicely. Look around the camera going back and forth. Well, even with all that lather mounded up, it's disappearing pretty quick. Try to get the sideburns even. I never get my sideburns even. I don't even try anymore. And I'm going to come in. I was talking about using a portion of the blade. When I'm coming in here, I'm just going to be using the I guess, top half, if you think of it that way. See if you can see that or not. Same thing on the other side. All right. Well, let me rinse off while I compile my thoughts, and yeah, I'll bring you back for some final thoughts on the new Czech and Speake. All right, quick rinse. Not terrible, not as bad as I thought it was going to be with the wording of the email and just the fact that Phil is proactively issuing refunds. Nowhere near the quality of lather as it was, though. Not super slippery, not super lubricating, which I think is really the only quality of a shave soap that truly matters to the shave. Wasn't terrible either. As it started to dry, it did get sticky, though, I noticed. So that's something definitely to be aware of. So overall, yeah, I would not recommend this soap unless they adjust their prices. With Czech and Speake being a pretty pricey brand, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Overall, though, it's a shave soap. It gets the job done. It smells nice. It's lubricating enough. That's up to you, though, to decide. I doubt Bull Goose will stock this anymore. I could be wrong on that. I'm not going to speak for anybody there, but given what happened to him being sold the wrong stuff and having to put that out to his customers, I wouldn't be surprised if Czech and Speake, at least the soap, does not make a comeback. So if you can find it, if you're a big fan of the scents, I love number 88, I love Oxford and Cambridge. Yeah, when my original pucks get all used up, I might replace them. That would be a big might. It would depend on if there's anything else that I'd be looking at the time to buy. But like I said, it's a shave soap. It works. I'm not super picky. It works just fine for me. Not at the price point that Czech and Speake is going to be probably continuing to ask for people to pay for their soap. But that's it. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your day with me here today. I sure do appreciate it, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.